If you are new to Tales by Savvy Sam, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more powerful life stories that touch the heart and teach real lessons about love, loyalty, and destiny. Obi was not a perfect man, but he had something many people overlook: a heart that could love deeply and without conditions. He grew up in a small village in Imo State, Nigeria, where he learned early that life rewards hard work more than grammar. Obi was not fluent in English, but he could build 4 houses in the time it took some people to write one long English sentence. By his early 30s, Obi was already a wealthy man. He owned several trucks used for sand supply, 3 shops stocked with building materials, and a block industry that never rested. People knew him as Obi Builder, a man whose hands were rough from work but whose spirit was gentle. In the midst of his rising success, he met Cynthia, a beautiful young woman from Delta State who had come to visit her aunt in Imo. She was tall, fair, soft-spoken, and carried herself with the confidence of someone who knew she would go far in life. Obi fell for her immediately. He saw in her the kind of partner he wanted: ambitious, respectful, and someone he believed he could help build a better future. Cynthia liked Obi too, or at least she said so at the time. She admired his strength, his generosity, and his willingness to do anything for her happiness. She often told people, "Obi may not speak English well, but he understands love." Those words would later become a painful irony. Within months of dating, Obi started funding Cynthia's education. She gained admission into Delta State University, and Obi proudly paid every single fee: acceptance, school fees, accommodation, textbooks, feeding allowance, even money for clothes. His friends teased him, saying he was over-investing, but Obi believed that when you love someone, you lift them higher. Every month, he drove from Imo to Delta just to see her. Sometimes he arrived with bags of rice, crates of drinks, and anything he thought would make her school life easier. Cynthia enjoyed this attention. Her friends envied her, often asking, "Where did you see this kind of man?" And she would smile shyly, pretending to be humble, though inside, she enjoyed being treated like a queen. In her second year, Obi decided to build her a house in her village. "Yes, I know it is not yet time," he told his friends. "But when a woman will be your wife, you prepare for the future early." The house was a beautiful 4-bedroom bungalow, fully tiled, with modern appliances and even a generator. Cynthia's family worshipped him for it. They called him our in-law and bragged about him to their neighbors. Obi believed he was securing a future with the woman he loved. But as Cynthia continued school, something inside her slowly changed. Education came with exposure, and exposure came with new desires. She started feeling embarrassed introducing Obi to her friends. They laughed at his grammar, his simple dressing, his lack of romantic skills. In school, she met young men who spoke polished English, wore designer clothes, and took girls to fancy restaurants. These were the men she started comparing Obi to. Among them was Jay, a final-year student who had smooth skin, a sweet tongue, trendy outfits, and just the right height that made Cynthia blush whenever he stood close. Jay didn't have money, but he had swagger, charm, and confidence. He told Cynthia everything she wanted to hear. "You deserve better. You're too beautiful to end up with a local man. You need someone who understands your class. You can't marry an illiterate." Cynthia listened, and she believed every word. By the time she graduated, she had already built a new image of what a perfect man should look like. And Obi was no longer in that picture. But Obi, blinded by love, had no idea the storm forming ahead. After her graduation, Cynthia became distant. She no longer picked Obi's calls quickly. She often claimed she was busy. She returned to her village but avoided visiting Obi. Rumors began spreading. People whispered. Some even warned Obi, "Your woman don day change. She don see fine boy for school. She no want you again." But Obi dismissed them. "Cynthia loves me. She is just tired after school," he would say. One afternoon, Obi decided to surprise her. He drove all the way to Delta with gifts, hoping to discuss their traditional marriage plans. When he arrived at Cynthia's family compound, He expected excitement. Instead, he saw a different sight entirely. Cynthia was sitting outside with Jay, laughing heartily, dressed in matching outfits. Her parents looked uncomfortable when they saw Obi, but they said nothing. Obi felt his heart drop, but he greeted calmly. He tried to smile, but the air was heavy. Cynthia stood up reluctantly and said, "Obi, can we talk outside?" What she told him that day broke a heart that had already given too much. Obi stood beside Cynthia near the mango tree behind her family compound. The same tree where they used to sit, talk about the future, and dream of the life they would build together. But today, the atmosphere felt cold. Too cold for a place that once held so much warmth. The wind passed quietly between them, but it couldn't carry away the tension that hung in the air. Obi looked at Cynthia carefully. Her face was calm but distant. Her eyes, once full of admiration and gratitude, now held something unfamiliar, pride mixed with irritation. She looked like someone who had already rehearsed what she wanted to say. "Cynthia, what is happening? Why are you treating me like this?" Obi asked gently. His voice shook slightly, but he tried to maintain his dignity. "I came to talk about our marriage plans. I thought we were ready." Cynthia sighed deeply, like his question was a burden. "Obi, I don't know how to say this without hurting you, but I don't want to marry you anymore." Obi blinked twice. "Cynthia, what are you saying?" "I mean it," she said firmly. "I can't be with you. I've moved on. I'm in love with someone else. Jay makes me happy." Obi felt like the ground beneath him shifted. He stared at her, searching for a sign that this was a joke or a moment of anger. "After everything we've been through, after all I've done for you," he whispered. Cynthia shrugged. "Obi, you're a good man, but you're not the kind of man I want to marry." Obi swallowed hard. "What does that mean? I thought you loved me." Cynthia folded her arms, her body language sharp. "Love isn't enough. Obi, let's be realistic. You don't speak good English. You don't dress well. You don't know how to act in public. You're not romantic. You're not fun. You're not outgoing. You're too local." Obi's heart felt like someone had squeezed it tightly. "So that's what you think of me?" "That's what everyone thinks of you," she replied boldly. "I stayed with you because you helped me. But now I've grown. My level has changed." Obi wiped his eyes quickly before the tears could be seen. "You mean because I helped you? Because I trained you in school? Because I built you a house? That means nothing to you." Cynthia rolled her eyes. "Please, Obi. Don't make it dramatic. Yes, I appreciate everything. But Jay is the kind of man I want. He has class, he knows how to speak, he's charming, and he understands me." Obi shook his head slowly. "So Jay will do everything I've done for you. Is he ready for that?" "Well," Cynthia hesitated, then straightened her shoulders proudly. "Jay said he will refund you everything you spent on me." Those words were the sharpest dagger. Refund. As if love was a business transaction. As if everything he did for her was a loan. Obi stared at her in disbelief. "Cynthia, is that what I am to you? An investment that didn't yield?" She didn't answer. She just looked away, as if waiting for him to leave. Obi felt his legs grow weak. "I loved you with everything I had," he said quietly. "I wanted to give you the world." "And I don't want your world," Cynthia replied softly, but without remorse. "I want a different life." Obi took a deep breath. "Where is Jay now?" Cynthia looked toward the compound. "Inside, waiting." Obi nodded slowly. He felt humiliation crawl through his body. Every second he stood there sliced his heart open. "Okay. Since you don't want me, I won't force you." He turned to leave, but after 2 steps he paused. "But Cynthia, before I go, I want you to be honest with me. Did you ever love me, even for one day?" Cynthia hesitated. Then she said the words that would haunt Obi forever. "I liked the things you did for me. Not you." Obi stopped breathing for a moment. The sentence hit him harder than a punch. He turned away quickly so she wouldn't see the tears that finally broke through. He walked to his car, hands shaking, vision blurry. As he opened the door, he heard footsteps behind him. It was Jay with a confident smile. "So you're the famous Obi," Jay said mockingly. "No hard feelings, bro. Cynthia is my wife now. But don't worry, when things settle, I'll refund your money." Obi didn't reply. He simply entered his car and drove off, his entire world collapsing piece by piece with every kilometer he traveled. But something dark and heavy was growing inside him, a mixture of heartbreak, anger, frustration, and betrayal. And that storm would soon transform into an action that no one expected. Obi barely remembered how he drove home that day. The road blurred. His heart pounded like someone was knocking from inside his chest. Every word Cynthia spoke replayed in his mind, over and over, each one cutting deeper than the last. "You don't speak good English. You're not romantic. You're too local. I liked the things you did for me, not you. Jay will refund your money." Those lines echoed with a cruelty he never imagined she could possess. By the time Obi reached his compound in Imo State, his body was shaking. His workers rushed to help him out of the car, but he waved them away. He entered his room, locked the door, and sat on the floor with his back against the wall. He cried. Not the soft tears of a wounded man, but the painful, guttural cries of someone whose soul had been ripped open. Obi had known heartbreak before, but this one tasted different. Tasted like betrayal mixed with humiliation. For hours, he sat in that darkness, replaying every sacrifice he had made. The school fees, the rents, the food supplies, the hospital bills, the new clothes, the countless trips, and the house, the beautiful 4-bedroom bungalow he built in Delta. He remembered the day he handed the keys to Cynthia. She hugged him tightly and said, "Obi, you're the best thing that ever happened to me." Now, that same voice had thrown him aside like trash. Around midnight, something snapped inside him. A wave of anger, a sense of injustice, a refusal to be mocked. Obi stood up abruptly, wiped his face, and walked outside. His workers were asleep, but he went straight to the truck garage and selected one of his biggest vehicles, the bulldozer truck he used for major construction work. He climbed inside, started the engine, and began a long journey back to Delta State under the moonlight. It was a crazy decision, but pain does not think. Pain acts. As he drove, he repeated to himself, "She used me. They mocked me. She wants Jay. They can start from zero." By the time he reached Cynthia's village at dawn, people were waking up and getting ready for the day. The noise of the bulldozer engine drew them outside. Is that not Obi's bulldozer? What is he doing here this early? Something is wrong. Obi didn't greet anyone. His eyes were red and swollen. He drove straight to the bungalow he built with love, a house meant to be a home for them. Cynthia's older brother ran outside. "Obi, wetin happen? Why you day drive bulldozer come here?" Obi didn't answer. He simply stepped out of the truck, pointed at the house and shouted, "Nobody enter this place again. This house is mine. Built it. And since your sister says I am not good enough, then everything ends today." Before anyone could stop him, he climbed back into the bulldozer and moved it forward. The giant machine roared. The villagers screamed. Dust rose from the ground. Boom. The bulldozer crashed into the front wall of the bungalow, shattering it like cardboard. Bricks flew everywhere. The beautiful house began to collapse piece by piece. "Obi, stop. Obi, don't do this. Please calm down." But Obi was beyond hearing. Pain had taken control. He pulled back the bulldozer, then struck again. And again. And again. Cynthia ran into the compound screaming. She had been staying with Jay's family nearby. She froze when she saw the building collapsing. "Obi, are you mad?" she screamed. "Stop destroying my house." Obi parked the bulldozer and climbed down slowly. "Your house?" he asked quietly. "My money built it. My sweat. My dream. And now you say Jay is better than me. So let him build you a new one. Cynthia tried to rush toward him, but her mother held her back. Leave him. Leave him. You've go too far, her mother shouted. The villagers murmured. Some said Obi was right. Some said he had gone too far. But none of their opinions mattered. This was a man whose heart had been crushed beyond logic. Obi walked up to Cynthia calmly. I am not finished. He turned to the small parking area where the Toyota Corolla he bought for her was parked. He took the keys out of his pocket. He had duplicated them months earlier. He opened the car door, entered, and drove it out of the compound. Cynthia screamed louder. My car! Obi, give me my car! Obi didn't look at her. He simply said, if Jay is now the man in your life, let him buy you one. Next, he pointed at Cynthia's younger brother. Go inside. Tell your sister to bring out everything I bought for her. Phone, the wigs, clothes, the gold chain, the laptop, even the perfume. All of them, bring them out now. Cynthia's pride dissolved instantly. She began crying. Real tears. Heavy tears. Obi, please, don't shame me. People are watching. Oh, you know shame now. Obi replied bitterly. You had no shame insulting me. You had no shame comparing me to your new man. You had no shame when you said I am too local. He turned to Jay, who had just arrived, confused and terrified. You said you will refund me, ABI? But I need a breakdown. Every school fee. Every dime. Calculate everything. I want my money. Jay swallowed hard. I didn't mean, you didn't tell me, this is too much. Obi stepped closer, eyes sharp. You wanted to be a big man, right? But big men settle their debts. Cynthia knelt on the ground, begging now. Obi, please. I was angry. I didn't mean those things. But Obi had no tears left to cry. No emotions left to feel. The house was gone. The car was gone. The gifts were gone. Now only the refund remained. He entered his SUV and prepared to leave, but before he drove out, he rolled down the window and said, next time you choose love over loyalty, choose with sense. Then he sped off, leaving clouds of dust and a village in shock behind him. The news spread like wildfire. By noon, almost every person in the community had heard the story. Obi demolished the house he built for Cynthia. He collected the car, the phone, and all her wigs. He even demanded a refund of her school fees. Some people laughed, calling it premium drama. Others shook their heads, saying heartbreak could make even a gentle man lose control. But everyone agreed on one thing. Cynthia had pushed Obi too far. Meanwhile, in her parents' compound, Cynthia sat on the ground with her knees pulled to her chest. Her mascara streaked down her cheeks. Broken pieces of the life she once enjoyed were scattered around her, literally and emotionally. She replayed everything she said to Obi the previous day. Each word now felt like a dagger aimed at her own heart. You don't speak good English. You're not romantic. I liked the things you did for me, not you. Jay will refund you. It all sounded foolish now. Painfully foolish. Her mother sat beside her, sighing deeply. Cynthia, you brought this on yourself. That man treated you like gold. Why you do him like that? Cynthia sniffed. Mummy, I don't know. People kept telling me he wasn't my class. They said I could do better. Her mother shook her head sadly. And you listen to people who know follow you chop. Cynthia, you don't fall my hand. Meanwhile, Jay paced around the compound like a restless goat. Sweat dripped down his forehead. He kept mumbling, refund? Refund what? I don't even know how much the man spent. Cynthia looked at him with fear. Jay, please don't leave me. You said you loved me. Jay stopped pacing. I love you, Cynthia. But what Obi did today get me thinking. That man get power, money, connections. If he report me or disgrace me for village, what can I go do? Cynthia held his hand desperately. We'll handle it together. Jay didn't answer. His silence was loud. Hours later, Cynthia's father returned from a meeting in the next town. He was a proud man, known for his stern personality. But when he stepped into the compound and saw the ruins of the bungalow, he froze. "What happened to the house?" he shouted. Cynthia burst into tears. "Daddy, Obi demolished it." Her father staggered backward as if slapped. "Why? What did you do?" Cynthia cried uncontrollably. "I told him I don't want to marry him. I told him Jay will refund the money he spent on me." Her father slowly removed his glasses. "Cynthia, who raised you like this? Who taught you to be so ungrateful, so disrespectful? Obi was a blessing to this family. You have embarrassed us." He turned to Jay. "And you said you will refund him. But bring the money." Jay's mouth hung open. "Sir, I didn't mean. I can't pay." Cynthia's father scoffed. "Mumu, so you opened your mouth to talk nonsense without thinking. You think marriage is play? Idiot boy." Jay swallowed, humiliated. Cynthia's father paced angrily. "I warned all of you. That young man gave this family respect. People called us in-laws even before marriage. Now look at us, laughingstock of the community." Cynthia wished she could disappear. Meanwhile, several kilometers away, Obi sat quietly in his office. The adrenaline of the morning had worn off. Now only exhaustion remained. His workers watched him silently. They had never seen him like this, broken but pretending to be strong. His foreman approached cautiously. "Oga Obi, you want chop something? No. You want go house rest? No. You want talk?" Obi shook his head slowly. "I just want quiet." But there was no quiet inside him. His heart was a battlefield. He thought of Cynthia's smile, her laughter, the messages she once sent him calling him "my king," the way she used to hold his arm when they walked at night. Was all of that fake? He didn't know. But the pain kept spreading like fire. Back in Delta, Cynthia's relatives and friends arrived. Some came to console. Some came to gossip. Most came out of curiosity. Every time Cynthia looked at the ruins, she felt another piece of her pride crumble. She remembered nights when she dreamed of living there as a married woman. Now she was homeless in her own village. Even Jay began distancing himself. When people asked about the refund, he would say, "Ask Cynthia. Na she talkam." That evening, Cynthia's father made a decision. "This shame will not kill me. Cynthia, tomorrow morning you will go to Obi's house with me. You will apologize. Even if he does not take you back, you will beg him to forgive you. I cannot let this matter spoil our family name." Cynthia nodded weakly. "Okay, Daddy." Jay quietly stood up. "Sir, can I go home now?" Cynthia's father eyed him like someone who just realized the boy wasn't worth a grain of salt. "Go. But don't come back here until we settle this matter." Jay left immediately. Not once did he look back at Cynthia. For the first time since the breakup, Cynthia felt truly alone. As night fell, she lay on a mat in her parents' parlor. No air conditioner, no fan, no electricity, just darkness and the consequences of her choices. She stared at the ceiling and whispered to herself, "What have I done?" The sun was setting over Delta State, painting the sky in soft orange and purple colors. But despite the beauty, Cynthia could not feel peace. She sat on the bed in the small rented apartment she now shared with Jay, a place far smaller and less comfortable than the house Obi once built for her. For the first time in months, she felt the weight of her decisions pressing on her chest like a heavy stone. Jay had been gone for hours. He left that morning after another argument, slamming the door behind him. The pattern had become too familiar. Arguments, shouting, silence, and then Jay disappearing for the rest of the day. Cynthia wiped her eyes. She hadn't cried in weeks, but tonight the tears came freely. She remembered the way she had boldly spoken to Obi, listing all the reasons she thought he wasn't good enough. Now she wondered if she was even qualified to judge anyone. Just then the door opened. Jay stumbled in, smelling of alcohol, sweat, and cheap perfume. "You're back," Cynthia said quietly. Jay didn't answer. He kicked off his shoes and walked past her, dropping himself onto the bed. "You went out again," she whispered. "You didn't even call." Jay rolled his eyes. "Cynthia, please don't start. I'm tired." "Tired?" she asked, voice trembling. "Jay, we need to talk. Things are getting worse. We're fighting every day. You don't come home early. You've stopped looking for work. I'm the one paying the bills. Jay sat up suddenly, his eyes sharp. "So what are you trying to say?" "I'm saying this isn't the life I expected," Cynthia replied. "I thought things would be better. You said you would take care of me. You said." Jay laughed loudly, interrupting her. "You believed all that? Cynthia, you're a big girl. You should have known better." Her heart dropped. "You told Obi you left him because he wasn't your level," Jay continued mockingly. "Now look at you. Is this the level you were talking about?" Cynthia felt like the room suddenly shrunk. She wanted to shout, to defend herself, to deny everything, but she couldn't. The truth was too clear. Jay stood and grabbed his jacket. "I'm going out again. Don't wait up." "Jay, please," she whispered. "Please don't go." But Jay walked out, leaving her alone in the poorly lit room. Meanwhile, Obi's life had changed. While Cynthia's world was crumbling, Obi's life had taken a different turn. After the heartbreak and destruction, he had reached a breaking point. But instead of letting it destroy him, Obi decided to rebuild himself. He traveled to Onitsha for a short course in business communication. He began reading books. He started dressing better. He improved his speech. He worked closely with experts and advisors. Slowly, the man Cynthia once called local began transforming into a confident, polished, and wiser version of himself. People in the community started noticing the change. Business partners took him more seriously. He began getting bigger supply contracts. Even the bank manager who once ignored him invited him for meetings. For the first time in his life, Obi felt proud of who he was becoming. Not because he wanted to impress Cynthia or anyone else, but because he finally believed he deserved better. His heart still carried scars, but he was healing. Weeks passed, and Jay's behavior only grew worse. He drank more. He stayed out longer. He even started flirting openly with other women. Cynthia confronted him one night. "Jay, who is Sheena? I saw the messages." Jay laughed. "Oh, so now you check my phone. But maybe she'll show you how a real woman behaves." The insult cut deeper than a knife. Cynthia snapped. "Jay, after everything I did for you, after I defended you, after I left someone who loved me." Jay turned sharply. "Don't bring Obi into this. If Obi was so perfect, why did you leave him?" Cynthia's lips trembled, but she could not answer. "Let me tell you something," Jay said coldly. "You left stability for vibes. And now, this is the life you chose." He grabbed his phone and walked out again. Cynthia collapsed to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. For the first time, she whispered the truth. "I made a mistake. I made the biggest mistake of my life." One Saturday afternoon, Cynthia traveled back to her village to visit her mother. She had not been home since Obi demolished the house. The empty land reminded her of everything she had lost. As she walked through the village square, she heard people greeting someone with respect. "Obi, welcome." She froze. Obi stepped out of a brand new SUV, dressed in a clean senator outfit. He walked with confidence. Calm, quiet power in every step. Cynthia's heart raced. She had not seen him since the day he demolished the house. Their eyes met. For a moment, she expected him to insult her, mock her, or remind her of her mistakes. But instead, Obi simply nodded politely. "Good afternoon, Cynthia." His voice was calm, mature, peaceful. "Obi, you look different," she whispered. "I've been working on myself," he replied. "Life moves on." She swallowed hard. Are you angry with me?" Obi sighed softly. "I was. But anger keeps people stuck. I've moved forward and I wish you well. Cynthia felt hot tears forming. I'm sorry, she said weakly. I didn't know what I had until I lost it. Obi looked at her kindly but firmly. That's life, Cynthia. Some lessons come with a heavy price. He nodded once more and walked away, leaving her standing there, broken, regretful, and full of shame. That evening, when Cynthia returned to the apartment, she found her clothes packed into a small bag by the door. Jay stood at the window, looking irritated. What is this? Cynthia asked. I'm done, Jay replied. I'm moving in with someone else. Jay, you're joking. No, you're too much stress. Find somewhere else to stay. Cynthia felt the world collapse around her. Jay, please. I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem, he said, brushing past her. You made your choice. Now live with it. He walked out without looking back. Cynthia sank to the floor, shaking. She had lost Obi. She had lost the house. She had lost her pride. Now she had lost Jay too. She was left with nothing but the consequences of her own decisions. Cynthia packed her small bag and stepped outside under the lonely night sky. She had no home, no partner, no stability, no peace. But deep in her heart, she knew one truth. Her downfall began the day she abandoned a good man. And now life was forcing her to start again at zero. But this time, without anyone to blame but herself. Night had fallen over Delta State, and the roads were unusually quiet. The only sound was the soft humming of crickets and the distant barking of a dog. Cynthia sat on a plastic chair outside a small shop, hugging her bag tightly against her chest. Everything she owned was inside that little bag. Her clothes, her documents, and a few personal items she had managed to rescue before Jay threw her out. She stared into the darkness, replaying her choices, her words, her pride, and all the insults she threw at Obi. A light drizzle began to fall, and she pulled her shawl over her shoulders. She felt cold, not because of the weather but because of the emptiness inside her. For the first time since everything collapsed, she whispered a prayer. God, please show me what to do. I have no one left. As the drizzle grew heavier, she stood up and walked to her mother's house. Her mother opened the door in shock. Cynthia. My daughter, what happened to you? Cynthia collapsed into her arms, crying uncontrollably. Mama, everything is gone. Jay left me. I have nowhere to go. Her mother held her tightly, though her eyes carried disappointment. My daughter, I warned you, but you refused to listen. Cynthia nodded painfully. I know, Mama. I was foolish. Her mother sighed and helped her into the house where she would sleep on an old mattress. For the first time in months, Cynthia felt the safety of home, but also the shame of returning as a failure. Meanwhile, Obi's journey leads to new doors. The next morning, Obi sat in his office, reviewing documents. His company had grown steadily in just a few months. He now employed a small team, and his supply business had expanded beyond Delta State. As he worked, his secretary knocked on the door. Oga Obi, a visitor is here to see you. Who is it? She didn't say, but she looks troubled. Obi raised a brow. Let her in. The door opened slowly, and Cynthia stepped inside. Obi's pen dropped from his hand. She looked nothing like the proud woman he once knew. Her eyes were swollen, her clothes were worn, and her confidence had vanished. She held her hands together nervously. Obi, please. I just want to talk. Obi sat back, watching her silently. A long pause filled the room. Cynthia, he finally said. What happened? Tears gathered in her eyes. Everything you warned me about happened. Jay left me. Have no house, no job. I've lost everything. Even my dignity. Obi felt a sting of sympathy. Not because he wanted her back, but because he was human. I'm sorry you're going through this, he said calmly. But why are you here? Cynthia took a deep breath. I came to apologize. I am truly sorry for how I treated you. I looked down on you. I insulted you. I thought education and class made a good husband. I thought love was about speaking big English, fashion, and showing off. Obi remained quiet. I didn't see your heart, she continued. You loved me in a way no one else ever did. You gave me the best years of your life. And I threw it all away because of pride. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Obi, I am not asking for anything. I just need your forgiveness so I can forgive myself. Obi breathed deeply. His heart softened, but not in the way Cynthia expected. I forgave you a long time ago, he said gently. Not for you but for me. Anger was destroying me. I had to let it go. Fresh tears streamed down Cynthia's face. Thank you, Obi. Truly. She turned to leave, but Obi spoke again. Cynthia, you stop. You were not a bad person. You just made a bad decision. But every decision has a price. She nodded silently. Take care of yourself, Obi said. She walked out slowly, closing the door behind her. Obi leaned back and exhaled. He felt a weight lift. Not of love, not of sadness, but of closure. Days later, Cynthia got a call from a small school in town, offering her a teaching position. It was not glamorous, but it was stable. She accepted immediately. Her first paycheck wasn't much, but it was enough to help her mother and slowly rebuild her life. She learned humility the hard way, and every day she walked with a quieter, more grateful heart. Whenever she passed the old land where her demolished house once stood, she didn't feel anger or regret anymore. She simply whispered, I learned. Months later, Obi attended a business conference in Lagos. There he met a young woman named Kamsi, a lawyer and entrepreneur. She was graceful, intelligent, and kind, nothing like the arrogant Cynthia once carried. They talked, exchanged numbers, and began spending time together. Kamsi saw Obi for who he truly was. His heart, his humility, his strength, his past, and his growth. She admired him. He respected her. Their friendship flourished into genuine love. One evening, as the sun set over the Lagos lagoon, Obi smiled at Kamsi and said, You make me feel like everything I went through was preparing me for someone better. Kamsi blushed softly. And maybe everything you lost was clearing space for what you truly deserve. Obi knew she was right. A year passed. Cynthia, now working steadily, had regained her confidence, but this time grounded in humility. She heard through the village that Obi was engaged to a beautiful, successful woman in Lagos. Instead of jealousy, she felt a quiet sense of peace. Obi deserved happiness. She had lost him, but she had gained wisdom. She whispered, I hope he gets everything he dreamed of. When the day arrived, Obi stood in an elegant hall in Lagos, wearing a well-tailored white agbada. Guests filled the room with joy and music. Kamsi walked down the aisle, glowing like the sunrise. As they exchanged vows, Obi felt tears gathering in his eyes, not from sadness but from gratitude. He had been broken, humiliated, and betrayed, but he had risen again, stronger, wiser, happier. When he finally said, I do, the hall erupted in celebration. Destiny had spoken. Life does not punish, it teaches. Cynthia learned humility. Jay learned consequences. Obi learned strength and self-worth. And in the end, everyone received exactly what they earned. Not by luck, not by chance, but by the choices they made. Thank you for watching this powerful story of love, betrayal, and forgiveness. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe to Tales by Savvy Sam for more powerful Nigerian stories. Your engagement helps this channel grow and allows us to bring more life-changing stories to you. Stay blessed, stay inspired, and see you in the next video.